written most of the draft before, or I'd come up with the idea and written the beginning of it before COVID hit. But it's interesting because many people now will have experienced it because it's, obviously one of the maladies that affects people when they get COVID. So,
well, we thank you so much for dropping back, taking time out of this crazy whirlwind of a conference.
I'm honored to have been asked. I love you gals. I remember when I first met you I believe I bought you all a drink.
Yes, you did.
At Malice about 4 or 5 years ago.
You were very close to our heart. So please tell our audience your website so they can find out all about you.
So you can read all about me and Sally Solari at lesliekarstauthor.com.
Wonderful.
And it's Karst.
Okay. That's great.
Thank you so much.
And I am so thrilled she's continuing.
Yeah, me too. You and me.
We are thrilled to talk to one of my heroes, Laurie R. King, who writes the wonderful Mary Russell-Sherlock Holmes novel series. Welcome, Laurie.
Thank you. And it's lovely to be called a hero. I've been called a titan today, which I'm not sure whether that's better or worse.
I like hero. Mary Russell is one of my favorite characters, and I have loved her progression from the Beekeeper's Apprentice up to the modern world. She's grown as Sherlock.
She certainly has, yeah. I was thinking the other day that the series started when she was 15 and she's 25 now. So it's, she's a different person, and yet not entirely. So, yeah.
And she's seen more of the world than she did in the beginning.
True. So, that's very true, yeah.
I've enjoyed her journey. Mary Russell is who I would like to be in my other world.
Wouldn't we all like to be her?
Well, yes, because she's
tall, thin, clever, and rich. I mean,
and she doesn't suffer fools, and she says what she thinks. She's a wonderful character. What is next for Laurie? What are you working on now?
I have a new book coming out in September called Back to the Garden. It's not a Russell. It is the first in a series about a young woman who is a cold case investigator. She's sort of on medical leave from the police department. When I finished the first draft in December, and as I said, I never quite know what I'm writing until I get it written. So I then look at my first draft and say, oh, that's who that character wanted to be. I realized that she is herself very much a Sherlock Holmes type. I mean, she's 21st century, but she is, she has certain neurological interesting things going on. She has a lot of his habits, and although she works for the police department, she is not a terribly good fit. So she gets involved in this cold case that seems to have to do with a serial killer who was working in California in the 70s, because the body that she's investigating is found on a place that used to be a commune in the 70s. So it's got two timelines, several different people. The main character is Raquel Lang. One of her fellow characters is from the Martinelli series, Al Hawken, although Kate Martinelli doesn't appear in this one. She's sort of mentioned, but not by name. And I just really loved how the two stories wound together. There's part of it is set in the 70s on this commune. Part of it is set in modern day Bay Area. Part of it's the cops and part of it's the hippies.
Wait to read it.
I absolutely am fascinated with the whole commune, that scene back in the 70s. I just think
Kate Ashbury.
Yeah, it's really a fascinating time in political and everything, and that.
And so odd to be thinking of writing a quote historical unquote that I was there.
Yeah. I was alive. That shouldn't be historical.
Well, I just heard the other day that technically the 90s are now history.
No.
Because it's
Can't
over 20 years ago. So,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no.
No.
I think 50 years has got to be the limit.
But one of the fun things about it is that you get to write a few characters who are in their 70s and such. You know, they were a lot of fun because they're lively people.
Yes.
Definitely.
We don't shrivel up and go away when we hit 70.
That's for sure. Can you share with our listeners your website so they can find out more about you and your book?
Yeah, I'm at laurierking.com. You know, you like to follow me. I have a newsletter. I have Facebook. I have all these other things.
Oh, wonderful.
I just hang out. What can I say?
Great.
Well, for our listeners, if you have never read the Mary Russell series, oh my goodness, you're
Kate
missing.
Martinelli's good too.
Yes, and Kate Martinelli
But she's
too.
modern.
Well, even Kate, as you meet her in the 80s. So.
Well, yeah. So,
Absolutely. But they're delightful books, and we highly recommend it by the Dark and Stormy team.
Thank you.
yes.
I thank you, ladies.
And we thank you, Laurie, for taking a few minutes off your busy schedule to come and talk with us.
Always a joy.
We thank all these authors for joining us for a little impromptu get-together. It was a lot of fun, and we look forward to all their new books. And we hope you'll join us next week when we have a regular episode. And remember, life would be boring without a little mystery. Bye.